Hello! Today I would like to give you some personal thoughts on my second bike. You already know I got a CCM 450 Adventure. But why did I buy a 1050, KTM 1050 Adventure? And why didn't I buy the 1190? There are some reasons. First, look at those roads. This is the exemption. That's the kind of roads I like riding on, but that's the exemption because it's an open road. It's not in a woods here. Many times when you have small roads in Sweden like that, you cannot see where you are going, so you don't go that fast if you are not suicidal. So the question for me was, do I really need 150 horsepower for that? And I don't think I don't. 1050 has 95 horsepower, and if you look at the torque and the power curves in the diagram, you will see that they both go parallel up to 6,000 RPM. Then the 1050 flattens out, while the 1190 and 1190R just continue higher up. So you get, of course, about 50% more horsepower and a bit more torque, but not that much more torque actually. So in that usable bandwidth, which is somewhere between 2,500 and 6,000, where most people are riding, the 1050 and the 1190 are almost identical. The 1050, at the other hand, has some simpler components. The wheels are alloy rims, not bespoke ones like the 1190 and the 1190R have. So you need to be a little bit more careful if you take it off the pavement. I have been riding some simple gravel roads, but I'm not taking it really into the woods because there's one simple reason for it. I think it's too heavy. And the same applies for the 1190 and 1190R. If you drive into something, some track or whatever, tractor track, and you realize it's the end, you need to turn around the bike on the spot 180 degrees. You will have a very hard time doing this with 230 kilograms, while my CCM 450 with just 150 kilograms, I can move that around very easily, and I've done it a few times. So that bike is simply too heavy for real serious adventure touring. At the other hand, it's a really nice touring bike. That's what I like it for. Small roads here, longer and shorter trips, day trips and also longer trips. But not the really tough stuff like I would do on the CCM 450. Some components are also a little bit easier, or a little bit simpler, like the suspension, for example. The front fork is not adjustable. The back damper has a adjustable preload, and I think it's rebound dampening, which is also adjustable. But look at me, I'm 75 kilograms, so I am the average rider. And for that average rider of 75 kilograms, KTM is doing the adjustment of the suspension. So if they have done a good job, and I think they have, they actually gave me quite a good chassis which I do not need to adjust. So why should I pay a lot of money, and it's actually 20,000 crowns or 2,000 euros, for much more power, for an adjustable chassis, and for spoked rims, which I don't really need. For 20,000 crowns I can buy a lot of fuel, I can buy services, and I can go on vacation. So I can recommend everybody who is out for one of these bigger adventure bikes but really thinks your riding is more moderate, look at the 1050 and I think you will be happy with it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you later again.